down and down.
Stupid.
Why I have to die?
Go.
Why?
Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to a different type of review for the month of Gorror. This is a double feature where I'm going to review two movies in one video. I know that's a little different. I did this a couple years ago with my month of Gorror for 2012, but I haven't done it since. So I decided, hey, I'm going to bring it back and maybe like test start it again, see if it works. So I'm going to try it again, see if it works this time. And the two movies I'm going to review, I'm going to do quick reviews for, are 12 Sins, which is a film about a guy that gets a message about a little game that he can play, and if he does all the stuff that the rules require, then he can get a lot of money. Let's just say that. And the other one is The Sacrament, which follows a bunch of guys from that website Vice, if you've ever heard of it, who go to a religious commune, and let's just say bad stuff starts happening. People die. Of course, it's a horror film. People have to die. So anyway, these two movies I was actually really looking forward to seeing, and luckily they actually just recently went on to Netflix, so I watched both of them a little while ago. I will admit, about like a month ago, so it's been a little while, but still, I really want to talk about these films. So you know what, let's talk about 12 Sins first. Like I said, the story for 12 Sins follows a guy played by Mark Webber, who some people might remember him from the Scott Pilgrim film, where he played Scott Pilgrim's friend who's always anxious, if you remember him. Like, he's just like, oh man, we have to do band practice and stuff. You remember him in that film. I can't remember his character's name, but that's who is the main character here. And he's kind of like a nerdy type of, he's a pushover pretty much. He gets fired from his job. He's a pushover pretty much. In the beginning, nothing really is going well for him, besides that he has a beautiful wife, or actually a beautiful girlfriend that's going to be his wife soon, and you know, he just wants to provide for her. And of course, he starts getting these messages on his cell phone that say to do things, and if he does them, then he actually starts to acquire some money. So he's just like, oh, okay. He does the first one, which is to swat a fly, and then he just gets like $100 into his bank account. He's just like, whoa, that's weird. Then he gets a call, and this guy's like, oh, hey, man, you did what I told you to do. That's cool. Hey, do this one, and we'll give you even more money. So of course, he's just like, all right, dude, I'll do that. This is pretty easy. Then they start to get a little bit tougher. Like, one is like, make a little girl cry. He's like, all right, shit, your mama don't love you. Wah, here's $10,000. He's like, shit, that's the easiest money I've ever had. And then of course it gets even more darker, like, murder all these people. It's like, oh shit. Okay, so it gets a little darker and darker, and the story progresses from there. What I really loved about this movie is that it really makes you feel for this guy, and you could see his character becoming more and more of a guy that just does not give a shit. He's just like, fine, I'll do it, I don't give a fuck. And he just doesn't care after a little while, and I love that. He starts off as the nerdy guy, and he really is just like a pushover. He's just like one of those guys that you smack around and they won't do anything about it. And by the end of the film, he's just like, man, I'm battle worn, I don't give a fuck. And I love that. He's really good in this role. I actually want to see him in more movies. I thought he was really good. I really liked him as, I can't remember his character's name, but he is a really likable guy, acting wise, and he was great in this. That's my favorite part, is his progression in the film. Also, some of the sins that he has to do, all the little objectives, some of them are actually really hilarious. Like I'm sorry, I have a dark sense of humor. The one where he's just like, make a girl cry, and he's just like, your mama don't fucking love you, you're adopted. And I was like, that's funny. And the girl cries. I'm like, ha 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 ha. Oh, she's gonna grow up broken. Oh, that's funny. So the movie's really funny, really demented. It's violent, but not too violent. There's a part where people get beheaded, let me just say that, and that's probably the most violent scene in the film, and it is pretty violent, to be fair. But it's a very entertaining film with some great performances. Ron Perlman's in there, and I love Ron Perlman. I enjoyed it. I really did. 12 Sins is a very fun film you should definitely check out. It's on Netflix right now. Go check it out. I'm gonna give it a 33 out of 40. I really enjoyed it. So there you go. 12 Sins. Go check it out. So now let's talk about a different type of horror film, The Sacrament, which is a movie that it's a horror film, don't get me wrong, but it's not that type of horror film where you're thinking, oh man, this is going to be a serial killer and people are going to die. Now, people do die, don't get me wrong, but it's not that type of horror film where it's actually real life horror and it's actually based on something that happened. And I don't really want to tell you what it's actually based on because, well, it's loosely based on. It's inspired by that, but I don't want to tell you because it's going to spoil the film, but let me just say it's based on a big tragedy that happened a long time ago, and it was really one of the most tragic things that happened. It was pretty bad, but yeah, it's loosely based on what happened there, and this movie follows a couple of Vice news reporters that go to this religious commune where one of the Vice news reporters' sister lives, and they're gonna go check her, see how she's doing because he hasn't talked to her in a little while. They're gonna check out the religious commune, maybe get some interviews. They're gonna interview a big guy, Father, the guy that made this religious commune, played by Gene Jones, and they're just gonna talk to him, see whatever, get a big interview or stuff. And of course, they start to figure out that this commune isn't exactly how it should be. It's not exactly all that it's cracked up to be. Let's just say that there's some evil stuff happening, and I really like this film. This is a really good, very very tense, very very well shot movie. You think it's gonna be like the documentary found footage style, so it's gonna be very shaky and stuff, and at times it is, but it's only shaky when it needs to be, where when someone's running or something and you're supposed to feel like, oh man, I'm on edge because I can't see and I can't tell what's going on because this guy's running for his life or stuff. So the camera work is really well done. The acting is great from everybody. I thought A.J. Bowen, Joe Swanberg, all the side characters were really good, especially the guy that plays Father, Gene Jones. I thought he was great in this film. Some really good acting, some pretty likable characters for the most part. It was a really well done film, and it really, that ending, oh man, the last 20 minutes of this film it's very tough to watch, especially since it's actually loosely based on something that actually happened. If someone that you knew, if you're watching this video, you're pretty old if you're watching this video, but if you're someone that lost someone to that tragedy, then it's going to be a little hard to watch. If you're someone that just thinks that was really sad and you go watch this and know that it's based on that, then you might think it's really sad too. But I thought it was sad, don't get me wrong, but it was really, really well shot and very, very gruesome, and it's worth seeing just to see the last 20 minutes. I know that sounds really screwed up, like, oh yeah, you want to see that happen, huh? Yeah, you think that's cool? No, it really is, because it's very well done. It's very, very, it's sad. It is. It's just like how you watch Titanic to pretty much see what's his name die. Okay, you see it because you want to see that dramatic, sad part. It's the same thing, really, in a way. So the climactic part is the best part in the film. The acting is great all around. The documentary found footage style actually works here. The only thing I could say that is a problem is that it takes a long time until you get to that part. It's like an hour and a half movie, and that last 20 minutes is really where stuff just happens. There's a lot of scenes where just people are talking. If you don't like that, then you're not going to like this film, because most of it is just people talking about stuff, and you're not going to like it. But still, there's a lot of mystery. There's a lot of twists and turns. There's a great scene at the end that is hard to watch, but it is very well done. I really like this film. I'm going to give The Sacrament a 34 out of 40. I thought it was great. So there you go. 2 great horror films you can watch right now on Netflix. Go check them out if you have Netflix. If not, I don't know, go to your local library and rent them. They'll probably be there. So anyway, there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, and goodbye.